Good morning, afternoon or evening, and welcome to another 0AD Alpha 23 replay commentary. And I do mean commentary this time rather than analysis, as it's a four-way game which is going to be pretty hectic to try and keep track of. It's between ValihrAnt, Friza, Boudica and Dade, or perhaps his name is Dade, can't be certain, but it is a particularly interesting game where we had people actually choosing their civilization. So ValihrAnt decided to play as the Britons. Dade, or slash Dade, was playing as the Seleucids on Team 1, while Team 2 was Friza as Gauls and Boudica as the Persians. So let's go and see what happened. So let's have a look and introduce ourselves to some of the players that are in the game. So we've got ValihrAnt here. Just select him. He's number 2 on the list. He's done what you would expect for most sort of very good players. He's gone straight off, built a farmstead. He's ordered 6 women, and the men are off to build a storehouse. Now, interestingly, he sends them to cut a tiny amount of wood first. So this guy's got like 5 wood. I don't know if there's something about that, some reason that he does that, or whether it was just a mistake, but it's interesting. I think I've seen him do it a couple of times. So, yeah, interesting idea. Opposite him, we have Friza, who's followed much the same route. Again, 6 women, men off to chop wood, and the 6 women are straight off to get the wood. He's gone for the berry upgrade, which also ValihrAnt did, so that's a good choice for him. In the north, who is Friza's partner, we have Boudica, and he has, interestingly enough, he's not built a farm, not a farm, sorry, a storehouse. He's just building it now, but because he had these trees so close to the civic centre, you know, it's a tiny distance, he thought we'll get chopping those straight away. So he's going to have a little bit of an advantage with the food, with the wood on that basis. He's also gone for the berry upgrade and the food, and he's got his 4 women gathering food, and he's just going to produce additional women and see where they end up. And now in the bottom, who is ValihrAnt's partner. If you've been following the ratings, you'll see this guy's rated slightly lower. To be honest, I think his rating is not particularly accurate, because someone is at 1422. I would not expect to leave the berries as he's done. So he's gone straight away in terms of into farming, which is one of the slowest routes that you can use to get food. So he basically, I don't want to be too dismissive, but I don't think he's played that much, and he's obviously just managed to get his rating up by playing people on like played unrated games or whatever, and only played people that he knows he's going to be able to beat. So he's sending his horses off to do a bit of scouting around, which is a good idea. I think the others will be doing that as well, and they've instantly got themselves into a fight with a tiger, which, that's the thing with these maps, they're very, very frustrating in that sense. So if we look now back at ValihrAnt, he's got a really good production line going. He's got 6 women here collecting the berries. As I said, he's got the berry upgrade. He's got over here a group of 10 workers getting wood. He's got these 6 women getting more wood, and he's had a second set of berries, making it a really good idea to get the berry upgrade, because he's now got these 4 women who are going to get even more food. That'll delay him having to move to farming, which is a bonus, because farming is so much slower than just gathering berries. He's just got the 1 cavalryman, so that's the one thing that Dade, or Dade, I'll call him Dade, I like it more. Yeah, and he's got an advantage that he's got these cavalry which are scouting around at the moment. But if we look at the population, so you can see in the bottom right here, you see that ValihrAnt and Friza are roaring ahead, while Dade and Boudica are a little bit behind on 28 and 30. So Boudica's up here in the north. He's now getting a storehouse. Oh no, a house, sorry. So he's got a storehouse to grab these this wood, and he's got a house coming there, and he's also got a small group of cavalry, because he's got these peacocks, which he can hunt, which again are a good source of food early on, and he's moving right to the edge of his territory. So if we look at the map on the whole, you can see there's a little bit of extra stone here that Boudica has. He's also got extra metal, so he's got 2 metals, some stone, and another stone just here. So he's in a he's been blessed with resources. It looks like there's more stuff here. Oh no, that's the same stone as before, sorry. If we look at ValihrAnt, yeah, he is loaded down with resources. Look at that. 2 metal, 3 stone, another stone here, is that? It is. So, as you may or may not know, but you probably know if you played the game at all, the main spam troop for the Britons is slingers. So having all of this stone is just exactly what you would have wanted. That's absolutely brilliant, and they don't tend to produce a huge amount of the normal kind of melee troops, because they're just spearmen. I mean, they're good at anti-cavalry, but they don't have anything like swordsmen until you get the champions, which makes the metal very useful. So he's lucked out somewhat there, that's definitely the case. But you know, he's playing it well so far. He's got any upgrades. He's gone for the woodcutting upgrade to try and move himself to phase 2. You can see in terms of the map, we've got additional stone. It's that metal. No, that's also stone. So yeah, again, another person that's loaded down with stone, although as the Seleucids, just to check, yes he is, the stone will be useful for catapults, but they don't have slingers, so it's not as useful other than for that. And we can see already that Boudica very sensibly, having run out of those peacocks to hunt, is now in the process of scouting, and he's going to take out this the horsemen quite easily. And it looks like we could be about to have a contest between 2 groups of horsemen as as Boudica's horsemen come in. If we look at this from now Dade's perspective, he is, well, they've just run straight past, but they've noticed a group of women, so they'll be able to take those out relatively easily. And so Dade, who was already the slowest developing member, is going to find himself in more difficulty as he's losing people left, right and centre, albeit he's got a good group of skirmishers there, and they will take some horses, I think. No, good dancing as they escape. And so Dade's population has gone now back to 46, while ValihrAnt is already up to 90, Friza's up to 69, and Boudica's on 63. So he's significantly behind, but he is also, in fairness to him, the least established player. So that's to be expected. It looks like Boudica might be coming back. He's going to try and go around and have a look around the other side. He's being very sensible at this point. They will have noticed that Dade is the weakest player by ranking, or rating rather, and therefore if they can take him out early on, then that will certainly hurt ValihrAnt. But that's very, very quick play there from Dade to get his women into the town centre before they were killed off. He's, once bitten, twice shy. Very, very good defensive play. So we can leave that for a bit, and then we'll go and see how the main 2 players. So although Friza doesn't have a rating, he's a very, very good player. Interestingly, he's started playing around the same time as me, I think, because when I first started, I beat him a few times. He's now massively better. So yeah, he's really learned well. I think it's one of the things about the game is that while I feel like I understand it very well, I'm just not dexterous or quick enough. I think some people are just absolutely brilliant at actually being able to move the people and keep track of what's going on. I know I played a game against Friza not that long ago, and he was attacking me on 3 fronts, and it was just outstanding, like the way he was constantly managing those, because I really felt like I was in the ascendancy, had a good attack going, but it was all very central. And then you turn around and you find out that he's built a fortress right next to your civic centre, and he's got rams coming in, and you're just like, how the hell does it even happen? So it's a real art form, that. But he's got plenty of fields here. He's got 8. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit, just up to twice speed, oh no, 1.5 speed, well, close enough, just to we sort of see how things are going. He's got the first upgrade, he's still in phase 1, he's producing from 2 barracks and the civic centre regularly. He's got plenty of development going on. It's a really, really good start from him, albeit ValihrAnt is just a, as you can see, 131. Actually, up here might be easier. You can see from ValihrAnt he has got over double the population of Dade. He's fantastic. Boudica is getting close to Friza, but ValihrAnt is way and away the best. But he does have the weakest partner, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, where you've got 2 players at a very good level, and you've got 1 player at like an exceptional level, and a player who's a little bit weaker. So now we've got, seeing the North, Boudica's ready to start actually expanding. He's getting, his population is going to start growing very, very quickly now, as he's built these extra 2 things to produce from barracks, that's what they're called, and he's getting plenty of archers now. That's interesting, and the thing with archers is very, very good range, but very, very poor things. Sorry, just go and have a look at this fight that's going on here. He's killed off again a few of Dade's troops, so we only caught the very end of that. But he's still got the same 5 horses. They're just going around causing mayhem to Dade. So it's quite, again, it's a good play to just keep Dade. He's already going to struggle compared to the others. So to keep him in a position where, like here, he's not able to develop as quickly as he'd like. I mean, if we look, he's got these 3 women and a load of women over here. So from him, he's got these people at the bottom. He's got 6 cavalry, a spearman, and 9 women that are doing nothing at this stage. And it's not, oh god, he's actually got more than that now, because there's these 3 skirmishers. But it's not because of anything that he's not paying attention. It's just, if you're constantly being harassed, it's very easy to forget and get out of that position. That said, he's managed to scout a little bit around his base. He's producing people 3 at a time, but he hasn't got a barracks. He's gone for a tower here. I'm not really sure that's particularly helpful, because it was only a small group of cavalry, so he could really, those 10 skirmishers, if he got a couple more pikemen in there, then they would comfortably get rid of anyone. You wouldn't have needed to spend the money on the tower. However, it can be useful to have the tower that you can then upgrade quite quickly when you hit phase 2 to get yourself to phase 3. So let's go back at the observer. We can see who's at what stage. As we can see here, ValihrAnt has just done a tremendous job. I'm going to slow this down again, because I mean, just look at the development and the way that he's pulled that. He's already moving towards phase 3. He's got plenty of resources. He's on 197 population. He's got people getting stone, metal all over the place. He's been very, very smart in that sense. There's more stone here, so he's got people like getting him just about as much stone as he'll ever need, which is very, very good for his point of view. He's going to have plenty of stone, and he's going to have plenty of wood, and those are the 2 resources that he needs the most. He's also will be able to get some metal, and he's got plenty at this stage, and I would not be surprised to find that he does the upgrade that I'm just hovering over now, to get the champion units. So he can get champion units from his barracks at the cost of 1,000 metal, because he's got so much metal around him. There's some more there. It's certainly of no, it wouldn't be a huge problem for him to spend that money. So I think he's the first to reach phase 3 on the 13-minute mark. Friza is not far behind. We've got more attacking. They finally, Boudica has lost one of his horsemen, so well done to Dade for finally fighting off, and I think that'll probably be the last that we see from him, although these are women. All but one of them are women, so it's strange that he didn't actually turn around there, although he's trying to manage so many different areas, I suppose. But yeah, those horses could really have taken out these women quite easily. He's got his barracks, a couple of barracks there. He hasn't got any cavalry stables. Oh, sorry, take it back. He does have cavalry stables, and there they are. So he's not actually producing any cavalry from them at this stage. And he's also housed, it looks like. By the way, these are not moving. Let's have a look. Is he housed? No, he's not now, but he was. So those guys are coming in. He's got no upgrades at this stage. If we have a look here, we've got the first upgrade on of armor, but that's it from Friza. And ValihrAnt has there. He has no upgrades at this stage. So has he gone for right? He has. So yeah, it's on its way. He is ordering the champion units from his base. From barracks, which will be really helpful. So he's got what looks like 5 barracks. Yeah, he's got 5 at this stage, which means let's find out how long it takes to produce one of those swordsmen. So it takes 20 seconds to produce one, which means he can get 5 every 20 seconds, which will be helpful. And he is about to launch an attack. We can see here. So this is a very, very large group of troops. He's going north to attempt to take out, I mean, just look at that, 109 slingers. No upgrades, admittedly, at this stage. But if we look here, we can see, is this... No, that's just, sorry, I thought there was a counter-attack coming on. So he's got 74, and they are going to, well, they're trying to take out a ship, which is an interesting choice. And no, lo and behold, his attack here, there could well have been communication between Friza and Boudica, because we've now got a mass onslaught of skirmishers coming towards his base here. So while, if we just go up here, we can see he's using his archers at a big range, but he's watching his women get killed. That actually at this stage isn't as big an issue as you might think, because the women actually are just taking up population capacity. They were useful to get the development, but now less so. And if you can see, he's backing off here, is ValihrAnt, because he's got people kind of about to take over. He is producing those swordsmen as expected, but he could lose those barracks quite easily here. Looking at this is very not, very much not what ValihrAnt would have been looking for. He's actually not retreating the guys that are at the Boudica's base. He's keeping those there, and Friza is attempting, with a large group here, to really inflict some economic damage, but he's not actually managing to do so. He hasn't actually attacked anyone who is farming. They've all managed to keep producing, and he hasn't taken over the barracks, which it looked like he may have been able to. They're not garrisoned, so had he put the effort in, there's a good chance that he could have done that. He's still got plenty of troops, but now we can see that ValihrAnt is actually bringing people back, and he will be looking to defend himself here. The issue is going to be if Boudica follows him back and then he gets caught in a pincer movement, particularly with those archers who from a range will just cause a lot of problems. So he's managed to fight off the onslaught from Friza, it looks like, and over here we can see that he's kept a small group of troops there. I'd say small, it's 73, it's still a really good amount, which isn't actually far off Dade's population at this stage. But he's still got 128 archers. Now he really is going to have to get some upgrades on these archers if they're going to do some damage, and he hasn't even got the first upgrade. And as we can see over here, those archers are in trouble, basically, against the slingers, although I don't know if we've got some upgrade on the slingers, but they've got a decent range and they are better. With a better attack rating. So now, however, he is finally pulling those troops back. He's got a small group of champions. He's got more champions, I believe. No, he hasn't. They're spearmen, sorry. But Friza is very sensibly expanding. He's building barracks right at the front, and he's also now in a position with to produce 4 rams. We've got 3. What's this going to be? 3 barracks and a temple are going to put him in a very, very strong position to produce troops very, very quickly, as long as his economy holds up. He's having to barter a lot at this stage. You can see He's getting lots of wood. He's actually having to exchange metal, which is a really perverse way around. Normally you find people getting rid of wood, which is the most useful or the most extensively available resource, and buying metal with it. He's actually doing the reverse, and he's not getting a great price either. Boudica's already coming in. He's getting some stone in for his food, and he's sending his archers and a small group of shield bearers, who are a type of pikemen, through, and it looks pretty grim at this stage. He's still got plenty of troops there, but this is just, it's insane, Benson. Dade is really not offering anything at this stage. So I'm just going to temporarily go away because there is something happening here. He's just a load of horsemen. So he has got 5 cavalry, but instead of getting them in here to actually do something to disrupt the economy, they're deciding to take over a dock, which is of no value whatsoever. I have no idea why they're doing that. That dock is not going to cause to anything. He's taking over a dock to destroy it, presumably, but with limited value. It's really the least useful thing that he could do at this stage. If they were to come in and at least force his farmers off, like even for a short while, that could reduce the food and give them limited opportunity to do stuff. The other thing that he could be doing, this is more helpful, destroy some houses, which stops him from producing. But we can see here this is now becoming more and more difficult for ValihrAnt. He is very much playing on his own at this stage, and this group of people, which is nearly 200 people, are going to build a civic centre. Is this right on their doorstep? It is. So Friza's going to have a civic centre, which is going to force this territory back. I don't know if this was it is a storehouse. That's never going to be built, and he's having to try and send his some troops. He's regrouping and building a fortress of his own in an attempt to get some rams, because at this stage it's looking grim, I have to say, for ValihrAnt. But never underestimate me. He's done particularly well. How long is this going to take to put up? I can't for some reason click on it. There's too many things. It's going to be seconds, but whatever I click on is not what's expected. So now Friza has pushed that territory back, and he is going to continue being very aggressive. And is this a fortress that's going up here? It is exactly what you would expect. So a fortress right on the, as I was saying in that game against me, it's very similar to what he did, albeit as one player, but with 2 players he's at a massive advantage, because while he can get on building these things, he's actually got this level of range support from these archers, which is, there are 150 of them, and they just stop small groups of troops getting anywhere near them. So this guy, for instance, who's running out, there's no point in him running. He will be killed by the archers very, very easily. Now Dade's finally getting in the game, and here he's causing some issues here. That's actually really, really helpful. He's just reached the city phase, which means he will be able to start producing some siege, so we could see some catapults, we may see some elephants, and it's, yeah, what, my word. I have to apologise for the lag. It is a bit insane when you get 4 players, it seems, at this kind of thing. It's really, really struggling, but what a fight. But now that he's got a fortress built right on the doorstep, these guys are of no use whatsoever. They just need to get away from there, because they will die very, very quickly. And this group of archers is just causing mayhem. They could do with building a temple here, actually. If the team 2 could get a temple, then they're pretty much set up, because these guys can be healed. It'd be very, very difficult for ValihrAnt to push out. That said, he looks like he's over here. He has got a small group of people. They've built this small picket fence, which presumably is to try and stop his troops coming in, and he's just sending some champions and a dog. I think he's got a few dog kennels. Is this a kennel? No, it's not. I'm sure there were. There's one. So he has got some kennels, and he's been producing dogs to some extent. But the main fight is going on here. The towers are going up. They're just pushing them further and further back. But the rams have finally started. Okay. So that he's building ram after ram. So he's got a couple of rams, and he's got people in this. He's got rams coming out in both directions. It's difficult to really keep track of, but we've got a hero here. This hero, the red hero, just gives extra metal loot. It's not actually particularly useful. They could do with a hero that's going to produce something more like, I believe this is the hero that ValihrAnt has gone for, and I can't get more information. Caricators, I don't know what he does. Let's try and find him at some way. But you can see that he is pushing through here. So ValihrAnt is very cleverly saying, yeah, you're going to come and attack me, but I'm going to try and counter-attack and force things to go the other way, and force you to defend as well, so you can't just push on. So that is exactly what's happening here. He's got rams, and the rams are bursaries. You've got a couple of rams coming, and the only thing I believe that's here in Boudica's army that can really fight them off is these guys. I think they are sword cavalry. So I think he's got some sword cavalry. I can't find any of them. But basically the only thing that's going to hurt the rams is those sword cavalry. So all that ValihrAnt needs to do is to get rid of the sword cavalry, and then his rams are clear to go through. So they're still trying to push through here though, although they're not making great progress. And the interesting thing is that it's actually, they are pushing on, but you almost feel like they are actually a bit more concerned about what's happening elsewhere. There's a lack of conviction in what they're doing. I would have expected them to be in here absolutely destroying that. The rams coming through, capture some houses, knock the houses down. But if we go back over here, now you can really see, here's the horses. Now, what sort of horses are they? Let's grab one. It is sword cavalry, as expected. So he has got sword cavalry that can get the rams, but they are being fought off by the champions. And, as long as he keeps those champions there, then he's in a good position. Now again, they're coming through, but they're still not actually threatening the civic centre. It's strange, but there's swathes of them here. But if we go up here, this civic centre is on its way down. I am 99% certain that is going to go very, very shortly. It doesn't look good, is what I have to say. That's the end of that. So now we've got Dade finally starting to send some troops in to support. Boudica, if we go and look at this from Boudica's perspective, he's number 4, just to check. He's got this large group of people, but they're not really doing a lot. He's still not even stopped the farming. It's weird. I've never seen anything. Or has he actually stopped? Sorry, no, they have stopped the farming. I thought they hadn't, but at least the farming is completely gone. But I think there's probably plenty of food here. No, ValihrAnt is short of food, but Dade is absolutely full of food, so Dade can send him some food to keep him going. And now, this small group of troops that's here, the rams are just knocking down bits, so they could probably have done with focusing on things that are going to actually be a bit more useful. So they could maybe have moved the ram after getting that onto the barracks, but that's the end there, quite clearly. If we come and look at Dade, he's now got, well, he's got 3 catapults there, and they're not doing anything. So he's got to get more involved in this game, because ValihrAnt has done an incredible job of staying on top of things, and are just not seeing him really contributing in the way that we would have liked. That said, ValihrAnt is under severe pressure here, but is somehow fighting back. And from the north, coming in from this angle here, we've got another group of cavalry and swordsmen. It's quite a small group. I think actually he'll be able to defend relatively well, but he's still collecting resources. He's still managing to keep his economy going really well. And if we look there, the combination of ValihrAnt and I've forgotten his name, and Dade is winning it. And yeah, ValihrAnt alone has almost the same population as Boudica and Friza combined, and Dade's not really been involved. Actually has quite a big population and can start really attacking. This group of archers that was 150 at one stage is down to 5. So he's just been absolutely massacred. We have got some heroes coming in here. They're attacking catapults. That's heroes, sorry, champions. So the catapults are there. So he's got one of the catapults. The other one just is. Other ones are hanging around, not really doing anything. He needs to get these catapults up and going. He could do with, yeah, just getting them. It looks like they're actually going to take it over rather than destroy it. But he's got this huge group of people here, and they're not actually shooting the champion. Why? That doesn't really make any sense. So now the catapult is facing the other way, and finally he reacts. So Dade really needed to get his catapult like not captured, because all he's done is now give siege units to Friza. We've got here again a large group of slingers. I'm just going to check quickly actually, and I'll slow it right down so we can just check everyone's position with regard to upgrades. So all we've got from ValihrAnt is the upgrade for, in fact I can probably just pause it, the upgrade there for the total, I forget what it's called, you know, I don't like that thing actually, the range infantry. Sorry, let's find out if, I don't even know what it looks like for these guys. You a market? What about you? No, farmstead. You? That's a house. Okay, I'm not even convinced that he has an armory, blacksmith. Oh, here it is. It's got to be. Yeah, he's also got the range upgrade, but hasn't gone for any armor upgrades. And over here we have, nope, your storehouse. You're a tavern. There must be. I know there is one because I noted what he'd done earlier. Where has it gone? You. No, you're a market. House. Okay. There's got to be armory. Armory anywhere? Well, anyway, it looks like he might not even have an armory, in which case he's not going to have done any upgrades, and he really needs some upgrades. So it looks like he hasn't got upgrades. And over here, you're an armory. Yeah, he's got the first range of upgrades for everything, or everything for infantry anyway. So at the moment, this might be why Friza's troops are struggling, is that they haven't got the upgrades. He went for weight of numbers rather than upgrades, while the troops of ValihrAnt have got that upgrade for what are they called? Range infantry, which has made his slingers go from being better than the archers, who have also got the full upgrade, to even better than the archers, because it's all proportional, which means that they've got exponentially better rather than just better linearly. Actually, no, maybe they would have. My maths fails me at that point. Perhaps they did get linearly better. So Friza, if we look at things from his perspective, he's got his fortress here. He's in a population of just 100, and this it's looking like he's going to struggle to hold on to it at this stage. It's taking a beating. He's trying to fight off something here. If only he's got 20 guys in there. They just need, if he could just produce another catapult, then it will be very, very difficult. Friza's, oh, well, he's decided it is difficult because he's just resigned. Yeah, it looked bad. If we look here, yeah, and I think this is what's caused him to resign, actually. Dade finally got a load of elephants and is, yeah, heading straight to his town, I think, with no one back there. He was struggling, and unbelievably, well, not unbelievably, as you'd expect, but Boudica follows him immediately. That was just you know, there were points in that game where it absolutely looked like ValihrAnt was a goner, but that move that he made where he managed to knock down Boudica's CC and completely just force them to think before they went into the attack. That little bit of thing where Boudica and Friza couldn't 100% commit to the attack is what caused basically them not to win, because once they started building right on his border, it just looked like that's got to be over. But I have to say, an absolutely incredible performance from ValihrAnt, absolutely top draw. You know, against Friza, who's a very good player. Boudica, I think, based on that, is overrated, or perhaps ValihrAnt is underrated. I don't know. He's obviously still very good, but Friza is the better player out of the two. And Dade didn't really contribute until the end, but when he did, it was critical. So well done for him. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much. I'll see you next week.